All right, buckle up, everybody. We're going deep today.
That's right.
We're diving into something pretty intense.
Yeah.
The concept of apocalyptic programming.
Right.
And whether it's influencing us, maybe without us even realizing it.
Yeah, and not the
Right.
typical, like, end of the world Hollywood,
Right,
blockbuster stuff.
exactly.
Yeah. This is more subtle, more pervasive, and it really gets into how we think and feel about
Right.
things like scarcity,
Oh, yeah.
fear,
Fear, big time.
and maybe even, the end of the world itself.
Yeah, and our source material today comes from a research interview with a very fascinating guy named Álvaro.
Oh, interesting.
And he claims to be able to perceive energy and information in a way that most of us can't.
Mm-hmm.
And in this interview, he shares some pretty mind-bending insights about this idea of apocalyptic programming.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
Well,
What is this apocalyptic programming?
we have to start with, because the original interview was in Spanish.
Okay.
We've translated and distilled
Yeah.
the key points for you, so no worries there.
Right.
But Alvaro's initial perception of this apocalyptic energy,
Okay.
he describes it as almost like a
Yeah.
parasitic energy.
Okay.
And it's an energy that kind of evokes feelings of disconnection,
Okay.
silence, and darkness.
Interesting, because it's almost the opposite of what we might think of, like that Hollywood,
Right.
fiery, dramatic
Yeah.
apocalypse. This is,
Yeah, it's insidious.
yeah, it's subtle.
Right.
It's insidious, yeah.
And he doesn't just sense this energy out there in the world. He claims it's embedded deep within us,
Oh, wow.
particularly in our bones.
Okay.
He mentions the legs, the spine, and the back of the skull.
No, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
The idea that this isn't just
Right.
a mental or emotional
Yeah.
thing, but it's actually imprinted.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Yeah, on a physical level.
right.
How does that even work?
Or does that affect us?
Yeah.
Well, he suggests that this bone-deep programming
Okay.
keeps our nervous system in a constant state of fight or flight.
Ah, okay.
So we're more prone to fear and anxiety.
So it's like we're always on edge, always
Right.
racing for
Yeah, bracing for the next disaster,
the next time.
even if we don't realize it.
Yeah, and that makes us more
What?
susceptible, right,
Exactly.
to manipulation,
No, interesting.
to control.
Right. Right.
You're more reliant on external authorities,
Right.
always looking for someone to save you
Yes.
from whatever threat you perceive.
Yeah, I see where this is going.
Right.
That all ties in, right?
Exactly, to
Yeah.
the apocalyptic
Narratives.
narrative, exactly.
We're always looking to be rescued,
Yeah,
whether it's by a government or a religious figure,
right, exactly.
or even just a charismatic leader.
And he takes it a step further.
Yeah.
He connects this programming to specific religious texts,
Oh, wow.
the Book of Revelation.
Okay.
And he suggests that, these texts reinforce this idea
Right.
that we're powerless
Right.
and dependent
On an external savior.
on an external savior,
And it
right?
keeps us trapped.
And it perpetuates this cycle of
Yeah.
fear and reliance. You
Yeah.
need someone to save you.
Wow. So even if these stories, even if they were intended as metaphors or allegories,
Right.
they could still be feeding into this
It could be.
deeper programming.
Yeah. It makes you wonder about the power of symbols and stories to shape our reality,
Yeah.
even if we're not
Right.
consciously aware of it.
Yeah. And you mentioned that Alvaro claims to have experienced this programming personally.
Right.
So what did he share about that?
He described this feeling of a distinct metallic taste
Oh, wow.
and experiencing pain in his chest
Really?
when he connects to this apocalyptic energy.
Oh, that's wild.
And he even links it to a past life memory.
A past life memory. Okay. Yeah. What was this memory about?
Well, he recalls a scene where a metallic device was being used for energy extraction.
Oh, wow.
And he believes that this memory is somehow connected to the apocalyptic programming.
So he's suggesting that this programming might have been used in the past
That's one interpretation.
to manipulate and control people.
And he makes a rather startling claim
Okay.
that millions of souls are actually trapped in this energy harvesting system
Whoa.
that's connected to this programming.
That sounds like the Matrix.
Absolutely. And he even makes that connection explicitly.
Does he really?
Yeah, he sees the Matrix
Mm.
as a kind of operational system
Okay.
that allows this apocalyptic programming to function,
Right.
keeping us trapped in this simulated reality that feeds this energy harvesting system.
Whoa. So if this programming has been around for so long and is so deeply embedded,
Right.
how's it playing out in our modern world?
Well, he points to our increasing dependence on institutions, governments, and even entertainment.
In what way?
Well, he believes that the constant stream of fear-based news,
Right.
the emphasis on consumerism and scarcity,
Yeah.
and even the popularity of disaster movies,
Oh, interesting.
all designed to keep us in this state of anxiety and dependence.
So we're being bombarded with messages
Constantly.
that reinforce this idea that the world is a dangerous place.
Yes.
And we need someone to save us.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder if we're even aware of how much we're being influenced by all this.
All right.
Right? Is it all happening on a subconscious level?
Well, that's the question.
Now, Álvaro also mentioned dinosaurs.
He did.
Yeah.
What about dinosaurs?
He suggested that they were an experimental project that carried a similar type of programming in their bones.
Really?
Yeah. It's a bit of a side note, though.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Okay, so we can leave the dinosaurs out of it for now.
Yeah, let's focus on how this programming is being reinforced in our lives.
Right.
What did Álvaro have to say about that?
Well, he believes that symbols like crosses and triangles, as well as rituals like baptism, are used to reinforce this programming.
Interesting.
He sees them as triggers, right,
Yeah.
that activate these fear-based patterns
Right.
in our subconscious.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because those things are so ingrained in our culture traditions, we don't even think about them.
Right.
But if he's right, they could be playing a significant role.
Yeah.
He even suggests that there are invisible biological locks embedded behind our bones.
Oh, wow.
Specifically designed to secure these programs of scarcity and control.
Invisible biological locks. That sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, so could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Think of it like you have a limiting belief that's been holding you back.
Okay.
A fear of failure, a sense of unworthiness.
Yeah.
These beliefs operate on a subconscious level.
Right.
They can be incredibly difficult to break free from.
It's like they're wired into us.
Yeah, exactly. And he believes that these biological locks are a physical manifestation
Oh, wow.
of that subconscious programming.
Okay.
They keep us locked into certain patterns.
So even if we manage to overcome the mental and emotional aspects of this programming,
Right.
these locks could still be holding us back
That's the
at a
implication.
deeper level.
It's like trying to unlock a door, but you can't even see the lock,
Right.
let alone find the key.
Yeah, that's a pretty daunting thought.
Yeah.
But Álvaro mentioned something about a 360-degree vision of our energy field.
He did.
What was that about?
Well, he believes that developing this expanded awareness can help us identify and break free from these locks.
Okay, so what exactly does he mean by 360-degree vision?
It's about expanding our awareness beyond our physical senses.
Okay.
Imagine being able to perceive your own energy field all around you
Right.
and becoming attuned to any blockages or distortions within that field.
So it's like a self-scan for energetic imbalances.
Exactly. And by developing this heightened awareness, we can become aware of these invisible locks
Right.
and then begin to work towards releasing them.
It sounds like we need to tap into a deeper level of perception.
Yeah.
Beyond our usual five senses.
Right.
Do you think this is something anyone can learn to do?
He seems to think so.
Really?
He emphasizes that we all have the potential to develop this expanded awareness.
Oh, that's good.
But it takes practice and dedication.
Right?
He even suggests that there might be specific techniques
Okay.
or practices that can help with this process.
That's encouraging to hear. It's like we're not completely powerless
Exactly.
in this situation.
You have a choice.
We can take steps to identify and break free from this programming if we choose to.
He emphasizes that throughout the interview,
Does he?
repeatedly,
Right.
that we have the power to choose.
We're not just along for the ride.
We're not passive victims.
Right.
We can buy into these fear-based narratives, or we can create a different reality for ourselves.
That's about taking back control of our own narratives.
Absolutely.
Instead of being swept along by those currents of fear and scarcity, we can consciously choose to navigate toward a more empowering
Yeah. He also highlights
and fulfilling destination.
the importance of collective awareness.
Okay.
The more people who wake up to this
Yeah.
and choose to reject it,
Right.
the weaker its hold becomes on humanity as a whole.
That's a powerful thought. It's like we're all interconnected.
We are.
Yeah.
Our individual choices ripple out
Right.
and affect the collective.
Like the butterfly effect.
Exactly.
So if enough of us start choosing a different path,
Right.
we can actually shift the trajectory of humanity.
That's the idea. You're not alone.
Yeah, we're not alone.
There are others who are waking up, who are seeking a different path.
Yeah.
And by connecting with each other, sharing information, supporting each other,
working together,
we can amplify our efforts and create a more positive future for everyone.
So even though this topic is a bit dark and unsettling, there's also a glimmer of hope here.
There is.
We have the power to choose, the power to change our own stories.
Absolutely.
And collectively, to create a different future.
Now, the question becomes, if this apocalyptic programming is so pervasive,
who or what is behind it?
Yeah, why would anyone want to keep humanity in a state of fear and dependence?
Yeah, what's the motivation?
And he attempts to answer that question. He suggests that there are entities, specifically reptilian beings.
Reptilian beings, what?
Who are invested in maintaining this control over humanity.
Are you serious? Is there any evidence to support this?
It's important to note that he doesn't present any concrete evidence. He's speaking from his own personal experience and intuitive understanding.
So he's just kind of putting it out there.
It's a concept that might seem far-fetched to some.
Yeah, it does sound a little out there, I'm not going to lie.
But it is a recurring theme in esoteric and spiritual traditions.
Okay, so whether or not we buy into this whole reptilian being thing, what's the deeper point here?
I think what he's trying to convey is that there are forces at play, both seen and unseen, that benefit from keeping humanity in a state of fear and powerlessness.
But why?
What do they gain from this?
Yeah, what's in it for them?
He believes they feed off our energy.
Our energy.
Specifically the energy of fear and desperation. He describes a complex system of energy harvesting, millions of souls trapped, their energy being siphoned off.
So these entities are essentially using us as batteries to power their system.
That's a pretty disturbing thought.
That's crazy.
If this is true, why haven't we heard more about it?
Yeah, why isn't this common knowledge?
Well, according to him, these entities are masters of manipulation. They've infiltrated our institutions, our media, our religious systems, all the structures that shape our beliefs.
So it's like a massive propaganda campaign.
It is about controlling the narrative, shaping our beliefs, keeping us distracted from our true potential.
Well, if that's the case, what can we do about it?
That's what we'll explore in the final part of this deep dive.
All right, so we've covered some pretty heavy stuff.
We have.
From Alvaro's perception of apocalyptic energy to the idea of invisible biological locks, and even the possibility of entities feeding off our fear.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah, so where do we go?
How do we break free from this system?
Right.
If it's as pervasive as Álvaro suggests.
Well, he does offer some guidance. He really emphasizes a multifaceted approach involving awareness, energy work, and conscious choice.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts.
No, it's about actively shifting our energy and breaking free from these ingrained patterns.
Yeah, he talked about developing that 360-degree vision of our energy field.
Yeah.
Is that where we should start?
That's a crucial step. Remember, this expanded awareness allows us to perceive those energetic locks and blockages so we can begin to dismantle them.
So it's about being more sensitive to what feels draining?
Yes, tuning into your subtle energy.
Or out of alignment in our lives.
Absolutely.
Okay, and what about these potential entities that are feeding off of our fear? Is there anything we could do to protect ourselves from their influence?
Well, he suggests our best protection is to raise our vibration. To cultivate a strong, radiant energy field.
So it's not about fighting them off directly.
It's like building up your energetic immune system.
But making ourselves less appealing targets.
Exactly.
Got it.
It's about shifting our focus.
Okay.
From fear to love, from scarcity to abundance, and from dependence to empowerment.
We starve those entities by choosing not to feed them with our negative emotions.
Right.
Okay, I understand the concept.
Yeah.
How do we actually make that shift? Are there specific practices or techniques that can help us raise our vibration?
Well, he recommends a few things.
Okay.
Connecting with nature is key.
Okay. Getting out in nature.
Grounding yourself in the earth's energy, spending time in natural settings.
Right.
These can help cleanse and revitalize your energy field.
Makes sense.
He also suggests mindfulness practices, like meditation, which helps you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions.
So it's about cultivating inner peace and strength.
Exactly.
Becoming more conscious of our energy.
Yes.
Learning to manage it.
Then using it.
and using it to create a more positive reality for ourselves.
Just create, exactly.
It's not just about individual transformation either, right?
No, it's about collective evolution.
He believes that as more individuals awaken to their true power and choose to disengage from this apocalyptic programming, we create a ripple effect that can shift the entire trajectory of humanity.
Right. The more people who step out of that, the less power it has.
It's a powerful concept, a critical mass.
It is.
Of awakened individuals.
Yes.
Tipping the scales and creating a more positive future for everyone.
Absolutely.
It's about remembering who we truly are.
Powerful creators.
Yes.
With the ability to shape our reality.
Not just passive victims of circumstance.
Right.
Absolutely. So what's the ultimate takeaway from all of this?
Yeah, what do we want listeners to remember?
Yeah.
Well, the key takeaway is this. We have a choice.
Okay.
We can choose to buy into the fear-based narratives that are constantly being fed to us.
Right.
Or we can choose to create a different story.
Okay.
A story of empowerment, abundance, and collective awakening.
It's not about ignoring the challenges or pretending that everything is perfect.
It's about facing them.
It's about facing those challenges.
With courage and compassion.
With courage and compassion.
And a belief in your own ability to create a better world.
The apocalypse, as it's often portrayed, is not inevitable.
It's a choice.
It's a choice, a collective choice.
It is.
That we make every single day.
And we can choose differently.
We can choose hope. We can choose love.
Absolutely.
We can choose to create a future that reflects our true potential.
As a species.
As a species.
Yeah.
That's a great note to end on.
It is.
To our listeners, we encourage you to explore these ideas, question everything.
Keep diving deep.
And remember that you have the power to create the future you desire.
And the journey of awakening is not always easy.
Right.
But it's a journey worth taking.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Until next time.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep questioning everything.